Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Barnabas Robot Arm. So here's our robot arm. This is what we have so far. So the previous video, we took a little pit stop and focused on coding. We learned about while loops and variables, and we figured out how to make our robot motor here move exactly like a clock. Okay, so if you missed that video and want to learn about it, you can go ahead and look at the previous video. In this one, I want to focus on building. So this is our robot base, and this is our robot base motor here. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to build the robot base, the moving part that's going to go on top of here. I like to call it like the turret. You know, if you imagine like a tank, it has that top portion that moves around. And so it's going to be able to move 180 degrees, and it's going to go here. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to move this out of the way for now. Okay. And the first thing we need to grab is this one. It's in that hole. There are a few different panels, wood panels. So you got to pop this guy out. There's only one that looks like this. You're going to need a two-winged servo motor coupling. That's this one here. And then two of the larger servo screws. Those are these two right here. And every package of servo motors, this is a package, comes with the motor and then also a little bag of screws in there. That's where you're going to find these screws and then also this one here. So you have four motors with so that means four bags with four bags of screws, so you're going to have plenty of screws. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to look at this and we need to orient it the right way. So let's go ahead and do that here. All right, so we want to put it like this, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to grab our servo motor, and there's going to be this little lip up here, okay? We're going to go ahead and put it under like this. And you can do it exactly like me, where you notice that the notch here is over here, okay? There's a notch there. And then once we have that, we're going to take our screw and feed it through here and then screw it in. Now there are going to be these little holes on the servo motor coupling that will allow the screw to go all the way through. So I'm going to just go ahead and do it. Alright, and I'll lift it up a little bit too. Alright, that way I can make sure that it's going in. So if I hold up the camera there, see, like this, and then you're gonna notice you want to get it like that so that you can see the little holes there, and then put your screw in there, and the middle one's probably the best. I'll get it there, and then you keep turning. You can see it coming through there already, right? So you keep turning until it gets nice and tight. Go there. That's through. Cool. Okay, and then now let's go ahead. Now that side's in. It's pretty solid already, but let's go ahead and do the other side. Screwdriver's falling apart here. That's okay. And then we put this in on this side. And then let's try to get it into the middle hole. All right. Okay, coming through. Keep going until it's nice and tight. All right, you know you're done when it's sticking through there and this, you see this white motor, it's flush up against the wood. Don't over tighten. Again, if you over tighten, it could definitely break the wood here, so we don't want to go too tight. All right, so that's looking good. What I'm going to do now is move this to the side because we don't need it quite yet. This will be the bottom. This will end up going be the bottom of our turret here. We'll get to it in a second. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we need these things. Okay, so it's servo motor. We have a turret side. All right, now there are two turret sides. One has like an angled piece going up. This one is straight across, okay? And then we have one of these servo motor mount pieces. All right, and let's see, we need a couple screws, some more M3 by 10 screws. That's 10 millimeter in length. All right, and then we don't need any nuts because these will self-tap into the wood, okay? And we're gonna need the Allen wrench that comes with it. And I need to find mine. Here we go, okay. Allen wrench. Okay, so this motor is gonna go into here. So the first thing we wanna do is we wanna orient it the correct way. So let's go ahead and let me move this stuff so it's more clear here. Okay, so this is here, and so you make sure the holes look the same way as me in the video, and then we get our motor here. Now the motor could go in like this, or it could go like this. All right, you want this white shaft to be facing on toward the outside, okay, just like this, and then we're gonna go in through the back or underneath like this. All right. So it fits in there, but it needs to be fastened, right? So let's go ahead and turn it over. And then let's get our fastener, and then let's put it in. So we could feed the wire through here. Okay, and where the motor wire is, that's where it goes through this little, that's what this little notch is right here for the motor mount piece. So we'll put it like that. And then put it in, and it should go all the way like that. Okay, cool. And if you do it correctly, you'll notice that these two holes right here, so we got a hole here on the mount piece, and then the hole down there. Okay, if you do it correctly, they should match up like that. All right, so once it's matched up, you just get your 10 millimeter screw here, and then feed it through both holes. Okay, now the top part is going to go in very loose, but the bottom piece, it's not going to go in because that's where you need to tighten it. All right, so once it's in, again, it's not going to go into this second piece. You need to screw it in with your Allen wrench. Okay, and no over tightening. Okay, that's the thing, you want it snug but not over tightened. Excuse me. Okay, so we're screwing it in. Okay, so basically you turn, and then once it stops turning, like when it's like this, and actually you want to make the first one, as I'm saying that, let's make it a little bit looser. Okay, because if it's easy to over tighten, so let's just make it a little loose just so it's there, so it doesn't fall out, and then let's do the other side, and then we can tighten. Okay, all right, we'll go here, same idea. This one's, now it's feeling kind of snug. Okay, so now I can take my finger here, and it can still wiggle, so that means I need to tighten it a little bit. All right, so yeah, all you got to do is make sure, just tighten it so that you can't wiggle it. So I'm tightening it a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm using my finger, I can't wiggle it, that's good enough. Okay, all right, looking good here. All right, and I can see, I could tell that if you look at it this way, this screw was way higher than this screw, so that means this side was probably tightened too much. All right, they should be about even. All right, just kind of an FYI here. Let's try again here. So that's another way you could tell too. The two screws should be about the same. Because sometimes maybe it's snug, but it's crooked, right? Let's try again. Okay, there. So now it's snug, and then also if you look at the protrusion, like how much it sticks out, both screws are about the same. Cool. So that's looking good. Things are moving along. I'm going to put that to the side. And let's keep going. All right, next part, we need to put on, this is going to be a part of the arm here. Okay, so we have this piece here. All right, so find it in your little board pieces. We have a two-winged servo coupling, and then again 2 of the larger servo screws. Okay. Okay, so how do we do here? Let's first orient it the right way. So let's put it down the table, make it look like this. Then we get our coupling, put it through, and then in a similar fashion, make sure you can see the holes here, and we're going to put a servo screw into both sides. And let's use the middle hole. There. And then we're going to screw in. Okay, we've done this before. Keep going until it's snug. That's good. And then the other side. And we are moving along. Cool. So this is going to go onto our servo motor later. Let's go ahead and put this to the side as well. Okay. All right. Now, we have another turret piece. Okay, here we are. We need this piece now. Okay, remember I said one of the pieces have a slant on it, so this is the one we want the slant one. We're going to need another servo motor. We're going to need a servo mount connector piece. Cool. You notice here, I already noticed there's like, this is covering my hole. That's cool. Just poke at it. All right. It's just a piece of wood. All right. Let's get rid of that. And let's go ahead and put this together. Okay, so we have, first let's put it like this. All right, let's orient this, and then let's get our motor here. And we want to make it this time so that it's facing the outward portion, the shaft here, toward the outside. All right, so slant up this way, motor shaft over there. And then let's put on our mount thingy. All right, and then this side, this little notch here goes where the cable is. Go down, and then let's make sure the holes line up. They line beautiful. They're lining up. That's good. And then we go ahead and tighten it up. All right. So we're gonna use 2 of these M3x10 screws again. So same process as before. With that other piece. I'll go ahead and do that here for you. So I'm gonna just screw it in so that it's not gonna fall out, and then we'll tighten both sides once both sides are in. Okay. There we go. Okay, both sides in, and then now let's tighten. And let's try to make it even. Again, we can look at the screws here. They should stick out about the same. Okay. Pretty good. I like it. All right. Okay. We're doing well so far. All right, now another arm piece. We're going to get this piece right here. Similar to this one that we did earlier, but bigger. And we're going to need a 2-wing servo piece. And we are going to need 2 more of these screws here. And you can probably guess what we're going to do. Same process as before, or very similar. Okay, we're going to take the servo wing. Let's put it into here. Okay. Once it's in, let's go ahead and screw in the screw. And so this is kind of like, you know, like many things. Let's get this in here. You know, once you get the hang of it, it gets easy, and also you'll notice that we're kind of repeating these steps, and it's part of the robot's design. So I think it's a pretty cool design, you know, for this robot, because we're using these standard screws and standard couplings that come with servo motors to go with the robot arm parts. Okay, let's get this in here. Again, the middle hole here. And another thing that, as we're doing this, that I like to point out while we build robots, and is that you're learning to use these little screws that could fall on the floor and aren't that easy to use, and sometimes you need a screw into tight places. So we'll see this later. Some of the places where you need to screw are not super easy, you know, to get to. And I like that piece with robotics. Not all robots are hard to build in that way. Like for example, Lego robots and stuff. You know, they're kind of meant to like snap together in a, you know, decently easy fashion, and there are benefits to that too. And so, but you look at something like this, it takes a little bit more time. You have smaller pieces that you can lose, and it's hard to. It's also not easy to turn the screw all the time because you're working in tight places and small screws. But you know, we're learning that because in the real world, robots are like that. You're gonna have to get into tight spots to actually build and fasten an entire robot. Okay. Just a little note there. All right, now let us see if we can put our arms onto our turret walls, okay? All right, so let's go back here. So we have this piece right here. This piece, the slanted one, actually goes with the big one here. So we'll do that one first because I grabbed it, okay? And so if we take this, there's only one side that will actually go into it. So this is the shaft here. We can put it on. Okay. And you can see it go. Now, remember the motor is only 180 degrees, all right? So it matters how we fasten this thing, okay? So what you want to do is we want to do kind of like a rough calibration, all right? So what we want is that the motor has a range of motion. Again, the range of motion is only 180 degrees or half a circle. And we want it to be able to go from here to, oh, I can't reach it, but to here. Okay, that's probably not clear. Let me try again. It needs to be able to go all the way over here. But right now it's stuck here. So that's not good. So what I like to do is this. Okay, so I'm going to turn it and keep going, again, gently, because if you do it really hard, you might break the gears in there. Not good. So I'm just like one finger here. That's all the pressure you need to just kind of push it until it kind of stops. Once it stops, that means you're at the limit of the motor. Do not keep pressing, okay? Then let's pull that off, and then let's put it where we want it to be, like that. Okay, so now this is I was turning clockwise. So when I turn clockwise, this is the position, like all the way clockwise. The furthest clockwise position, I want it to be here. And now I just stick it there. Now I know that it's going to be able to go all the way over here, which is what I want. Cool. So now that's in, and I know that the range of motion is good. It can go from here all the way to here. I can go ahead and fasten that. Now, what we want to do, we can grab one of these small servo screws. These little baby ones, all right? So every servo bag is going to have one of these. And then you see there's that hole right there. We can then fasten this. And we won't have to mess with that anymore. I have a little magnetic screw head here, which is nice. Okay. And if we did everything correctly, we're not going to have to take this apart anymore, or at all, which would be nice. Cool. So that's cool. So we have this full like assembly here that we're good to go. It's gonna we're gonna put that to the side. And let's go ahead and grab our other one, okay? So this was the other turret wall that we were playing with here, right? Okay. And we have this and then the other little arm that we made earlier. All right, so there are two positions on this one. Let's go ahead and just put it on there, snap it on, and just see, maybe we'll get lucky, right? But we want two positions. So this is one position here. And then we want it to be able to go full 180 from here. Let's see what it does. And it only goes to there. So that is incorrect, right? So let's do our same trick. Let's put it all the way this way. Just one finger. Okay, it's stopping there. All right, stop. Pull it off. Pull it off. Then take this and put it here. Because we know when we go all the way counterclockwise, we want it in this position. And let's verify. Now if I take my one finger test and go over here, it can get all the way there. And even a little bit further, so that's cool. Nice. Okay, so now that I have that, let's go ahead and take another one of those baby servo screws. And put it in. Screw it in. All right. Cool. And this is called calibration, and it's going to be important whenever you're using servo motors because they can only move half a circle. If you just randomly put this part on, it's not going to. Most likely, you're not going to get it quite right. Okay, so we have two pieces now. Nice. All right, these are both have two turret pieces. Those are good to go. Let's see what we have left. All right, this part's kind of interesting. All right, so I'll move this to the side. This is going to be the center piece. It's going to be a support for the robot claw later, and that's going to be later. But what we need this piece here. All right, it's got this little circular thing, and then a little rod piece going out, and then we need this piece here. All right. What else do we need? We need another nut here. Sorry, another screw here. M3 by 10, so 10 millimeter. And then we need a nylon nut. All right. So I mentioned this in one of the previous videos. The nylon nut is a lock nut, and it helps it so whenever you screw it in here, it's gonna lock it in so that it's not gonna easily come out. So as the robot moves, this is gonna keep the nylon in there. It's gonna keep the nut from just falling off. Okay, so it's very important for moving when it's fastening moving pieces. All right, and so we'll use it here and also in another part. Now, in order to fasten it, we're gonna need this little wrench that also comes in your kit. Okay, all right. So let's try this. So we're gonna take first. Let's take this piece, orient it like this. So we got a kind of slope going down that way, and then this piece here is gonna match up with the hole there. Boom, like that. And then this is gonna go through the bottom here. Like so. Okay, the screw should protrude, and then this lock nut then will go onto it. So let's just use your finger and like twist it on. It'll go down on a little bit, but you can see super loose. So then what's cool, we have our tools here. You get an Allen wrench on this side here. Okay. And then we have our wrench. Now there are two different sides here. You got to pick the one that, well, it's kind of, you'll see. This one's, okay. So this one is too big. This is the right size, okay? So what we want to do is kind of hold this like that. might be a little tricky. Okay, you're gonna hold it like that. So hold that fastened or locked, and then we can screw this in like that. And you just keep going. You're gonna have to use your muscles, no complaining that your fingers hurt. Okay, you go. You keep going. Do not over tighten. All right, you see like it's starting to sandwich together right here, so that's a good sign. Let's see how that is. Okay, so here's another important piece. All right, so I have it. It's like pretty fastened, but I think it might be too tight. Okay, you might not be able to tell in the video, but I'm using my finger and I'm putting just very slight pressure on it, and it's able to move. But if I do very slight, like, you know, like just say you try and be very gentle, okay? Like let's say you just put your finger straight and you're not flicking it, okay? You're not pushing it with your finger, but you just put your finger like this and then you move your upper arm to move it. It's kind of hard to move, okay? So it's going to be slightly too tight. You actually want it a little bit loose, all right? And this is important because these servo motors that we have, they have plastic gears, so they're strong but not super strong. So if your pieces are too tight, you're gonna find later. I'm loosening it a little bit right now. Okay, so now it's like super loose. That might be good, but look, there's no gap in there, so that's fine. So maybe this is what we want, and we'll see. Like if we want to tighten it a little bit later, that's fine. But let's get it like this, okay? You'll find, actually, I'm wiggling it now, and as I wiggle, I see a little gap. So I'm gonna tighten just a little bit, okay? And as I'm doing this, so if your pieces are too tight when you do this, your servo motors will not be able to move them, and you're gonna think that something's wrong with your code or something's wrong with your motors. But it's really just your joints were too tight. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, you want them tightened so that there's no gap in between the pieces, but not too tight because your motors won't be able to move them, and they can actually cause the motors to overheat because you're trying to push. The servo motors know that they're trying to get somewhere, but it won't allow it because things are too tight. And then your motors can actually overheat, and it's going to be bigger problems. All right, so let's just like save that issue from now, right now, by making it looser. So this would be good. So there's no gap, but then it turns pretty easily. Cool. All right, now I have all my pieces. I can move my wrench and stuff to the side. This will be interesting. All right, so I have these two assemblies here with the robot arms. I have this middle piece here that I just did, and I also have the base here. All right, these are all going to be put together like a 3D jigsaw puzzle, if you've ever done one of those, using these two pieces. All right, okay, let's move it to the side just so you can see clearly. So we need these two pieces that you can also get from the wood panels. All right, there's only two pieces that look like this. Here they are. And then you're also going to need M3 by 12. All right, so these are 12 millimeter screws. They're a little bit longer. Okay, and the way you can really tell, you just want to make sure it's 2 millimeters longer than the M3 by 10, so they're the slightly longer. But in the first video, I just compared them, right? But you can also tell by just measuring the screw, so you can see there. It's 12 millimeters long. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then we have 4 of these nuts here. Regular nuts, not the nylon ones. If you do the nylon ones, it's going to be super hard to tighten like it was with the wrench, and that's not necessary for this. Okay, let's see if we can do this. 3D puzzle time. All right. So bottom piece. Let's look at that first. I'm gonna move the screws to the side. All right. Okay, bottom piece. First step, let's make it like this. All right. And then let's get one of these pieces here. And let's see, which one do I want here? I might mess up here and there. That's okay. Let's just do this together. All right, so we have this piece. This is it go like this? No, it doesn't. That doesn't look like it works, but like this it does. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so there's like a little notch right here, right? This goes into here, and let's keep going. Let's grab this piece, and this should go you know what? This should go over here like that, or no, that's not quite right. So these two pieces should go here. Things aren't adding up here. All right, let's see. Here we go, like that. And then this goes like that. Okay, so you might need to do some, again, 3D puzzle. Not that hard, but you know, might take a little adjusting. Okay, so let's go like this. Let me just do that over, just so we have a piece. All right, so one piece like this. Then we take this piece here, and I'm gonna put it like this. And then we got this piece here, and then put it like so. Cool. And then let's do this. As we have these three pieces, maybe we should put in our first little nut bolt thing. All right, so the way this works is the nut will go into this hole right here. Okay, like so. And then the bolt goes from the outside and screws in. I'm just going to use my finger. And that should be good. And again, I can tighten later, right? Just get it in there. Cool. So that's going to hold my little assembly together. Very nice. All right, let's do this middle piece. All right, so let's grab this piece and let's see how this goes. Well, it only goes one way. So you see this area is going to go into it like so. Okay. And then now I'm saying like it's a little bit challenging, but I got it in. Okay. Like that. And then we can put it in like that. Cool. Looking pretty cool, I think. Okay. And then maybe what we want to do now is let's do this piece. So this piece is going to go here now. And this should go like so. Here we go. Okay, let me just show you clearly. All right, here we go. This piece here, let's just slide into these holes. That goes in there, this goes in there. Cool. Looking pretty good. And then now, let's do another. Let's tighten that. All right, this might be a little challenging here, but we can do it. We can do it. All right, let's get. Okay. This will be a little bit challenging as I try to do this while trying to keep in mind that you need to see. But I'm going to keep the camera rolling because I think it's important for you to see this whole process, okay? to know that it's actually possible. All right, so I'm gonna put this like here. Oh, lost it again. So I'm gonna hold this flat then, so you won't be able to see it, but I'm putting the nut in there. Okay, putting it in ever so gently. Okay, it's in there, and I'm not gonna tilt it, cause then you're gonna. Well, actually, it just fell out again. All right, so one more time here. Again, I'm keeping it rolling because I want you to see and believe that it can be done. Okay? And there, I got it in there now. So what I did is I first put the nut in there, and then I had it straight here, straight up, so that I could balance it in there. And then I stuck the screw through. All right. There we go. Nice. Now that's in. Still got these two, which I'll need. Then I only have one more piece, and this is gonna go in. And at this point, it's like that last piece of the puzzle, right? There's like only one way it can go in, and it should be easy. Should be. And one more thing to remember here, everyone. Be gentle to these robots, okay? The worst thing you can do is get frustrated and force these things, and then you're gonna end up with broken pieces. Okay, so same process. We have it in. Let's get one screw in. I'm gonna do the same thing here. So I'm gonna hold it straight like that, ever so carefully, and then stick the screw through. And there we go. And then last one here. Same thing. Just put this through. Ever so gently. Then get my screw from this side. Stick it through the hole. Lost the nut. That's all right. I am getting better at it though, and you will get better at it too as you do it. We stick it through. Here we go. Lost it again. Again, I'm keeping it rolling. I want you to see the whole process. It's funny, as I'm doing this, I actually got some feedback about my videos, and the people who I don't get a lot of comments. I would love more, but the people who have commented have said that they love seeing the whole process. You know, rather than you do this and then they cut to another piece, and it's just like I could have done this whole video, and splice it into like a 30-second thing, but you don't get to see the whole thing, right? Because that's not real life. So that's what I'm trying to do here. This is real life, guys. This is not some edited robot building project. You're actually seeing me do this, mess up. Life is not perfect, but we can learn. And we can do this, and check it out. It's in there. Okay, so it's all in there. Loosey-goosey. We just tighten now. Okay? And that's good. And just get it snug. Again, do not over-tighten. I keep saying it again. Do not over-tighten. Just get it. Just go until it's snug. Okay, that feels good. Nice and snug. Feels good. Feels good. Sweet. Okay. I got that ready to go. Okay, and then the last thing that I'll do on this video here. Let's go ahead and get our base. and let's put it on. All right. So it's going to take off. We were just doing some testing earlier with this, so I'll take that off. Let's put this on, and it'll go on. And what we want to do here is we want to make sure that it can do the range of motion, which is down here, right? And also go up that way. Down here and up. So this is good. Now, let's say if it was off, wires are getting tangled here a little bit. If it was off, then, like, let's say, you know, I had done this, something like that, and I went down. I'm like, okay, it goes down. That's cool. And, oh, but it only goes here. What do I do? Well, I know that when I go this direction or counterclockwise, so this is the most counterclockwise direction or position. When it's all the way counterclockwise, I want it here. So then I just put it there. And then I know, because it's 180, it will be able to go there when I go that direction. Okay? And actually, I said that incorrectly. The most clockwise position, moving like a clock, is this way. And then moving in a counterclockwise, it needs to be able to go there. Cool. So once it's in, let's go ahead and tighten that down. Let's get another little servo screw. And remember I talked about these screws and not getting, you know, tight spots? Look at that. How are you going to get it in there? Okay. Well, let's try. All right. Let's get a screw here and then put it in. There we go. Love it. We're good to go. So now we have, and let's look at it from the side. I'm excited. All right. Things are built. So in the next video, we'll do some coding to kind of calibrate everything, make sure all the motors work and everything. But this will be just for the build. So hopefully that was straightforward. If you have questions, comments, always feel free to reach out. That's it for now. See you in the next video.